This is just another video about being a quiet person. You might believe that if you don't speak up, the world will simply pass you by. And you're right to be skeptical. In a world that rewards the loudest, most frantic voices, silence feels like a surrender. It feels like becoming invisible. It seems like you're tired of screaming for a respect that never arrives. It seems like you've been told that your problem is a lack of social presence, and that if you only pushed harder, people would finally see your value. But as you listen to this, your mind begins to recognize a different truth. The louder you scream for recognition, the more you become a commodity. And commodities are cheap. In the next 10 minutes, we are going to dismantle everything you've been taught about success and replace it with dominance. Not the dominance of the bully, but the dominance of the shadow. The power of the one who doesn't need to be heard to be felt.
Chaos is the natural state of the weak. They fill every void with words because they are terrified of what they might find in the stillness. They believe that availability is the same as influence. They are wrong. In the ancient world, the Stoics understood a law that modern psychology is only now beginning to prove. Presence is governed by the laws of economics. When a resource is abundant, its value drops to zero. When you are always there, always explaining, always justifying your existence, you are abundant. You are noise. You can choose to remain part of that noise, or you can choose to enter the silence. Someone once realized that a king doesn't need to yell to command a room. He simply waits. He allows the others to exhaust themselves with their own frantic energy. I don't know if you've noticed how the most dangerous people in any room are the ones who seem to be somewhere else. They aren't ignoring the conversation. They are observing the battlefield. They are building their armor while others are giving away their secrets.
Let's talk about that feeling, the ache of being ignored in a meeting, at a social gathering, or even in your own home. It feels like a void. It feels like your identity is being erased. Dark Stoicism teaches us that this pain is not a problem. It is chaos trying to invade your internal fortress. When you feel the urge to speak just to prove you are there, you are letting the external world dictate your worth. You are a hostage to their attention. Robert Greene understood Law 4, always say less than necessary. This isn't a suggestion, it's a tactical maneuver. Every time you open your mouth to explain yourself, you lose a piece of your dominance. You give your enemies and even your friends a map of your mind. You show them your insecurities, your needs, and your thumbscrews.
Imagine a deep, dark forest. The animals that make the most noise are the ones that are hunted. The predator moves in absolute, disciplined silence. As you sit there, breathing, perhaps realizing that your verbal output has been a defensive mechanism against your own fear, you can begin to let that fear dissolve. Someone, it doesn't matter who, once found that by waiting just 4 seconds before responding to a question, the entire power dynamic of the interaction shifted. The person asking the question became the one seeking approval. They started to fill the silence with their own nervous energy. They began to view the silent person as an authority, an enigma, a shadow. It seems like you've spent your life trying to build bridges with words. But some bridges are meant to be burned, so that you can stand on your own island of silence. Now, we reach the point where the transformation begins. I don't know in which moment you will realize that your silence is not a lack of something, but the presence of everything. The quiet man doesn't hide. He occupies the space that words cannot fill. Start this week with a simple experiment. When someone tries to provoke you, or when they ignore you, do not react. Do not explain. Label the emotion in your mind. They want my reaction because they lack their own stability. And then give them nothing. The more they try to control the situation with their noise, the more power you will find in your stillness. This is your psychological armor. It is a shield that reflects their own chaos back at them. As you continue to walk your path, your mind will begin to recognize that those who speak the most are usually the ones who know the least. They are trying to convince themselves of their own importance. You no longer have that need. You have silence. You have dominance. You can begin to feel that cold confidence rising in your chest right now. Or perhaps it will settle in later tonight as you prepare for the next day. It doesn't matter when it happens, only that you know it is yours. You are no longer the one waiting to be heard. You are the one whom others are waiting to hear. And when you finally do speak, your words will have the weight of an empire. Say goodbye to the version of you that needed permission to exist. That version is gone. Only the shadow remains. Take a deep breath. Feel the comfort of not needing to say a word. Next week, we will discuss why you should never reveal your next move.
For now, keep your silence sacrosanct.